Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, I have the top 10 gunsmiths and class setups that pros are going to be using for this new season. I do have to warn you, I only have one sniper in here because I don't snipe too often. I also only use assault rifles and SMGs. So if you're looking for a Holger build, it's not going to be here. If you want me to make a whole video on that, I will. Just comment it down below. But I want to give you what I'm most confident with, that I know if you run these in ranked, you will dominate. So before we hop into the first one, if you guys have not already, hit the like button, subscribe. I have tons and tons of great content just like this on my channel. Also, there's a Call of Duty Mobile sponsored video, so hit the link in the description below and let's get into it. For the first loadout here, we actually have a sniper, and it's going to be the Koshka. And if you're not using this sniper right now, you definitely should be. It's a consistent one tap, and it has the fastest aim down sight speed in the game. Before we go over the attachments, I want to do a really quick run through of the loadout. Running assault knife because I'm a knife swap noob. I like the annihilator because I'm really accurate with it. You could run the armor. Kinetic armor is good if you're sniping, and then of course Molotov and trophy, don't need to explain that. Score streaks, the only weird thing here is the shock RC. I like to run it because if people push you, you got to pop that shock RC and save your life. And then for the perks, the only perk that's different from what I usually run is agile, because you want to aim down sights faster after sprinting. And now for the attachments, we have tactical suppressor. You don't want people to know where you are when you're sniping at them. MIP light barrel, mobility stock, and stippled grip tape all help with your aim down sight speed. Quick scoping is super important when you're sniping in this game. And then we have fast switch. You could change this out for an OWC laser to give you a little bit more, but I like to knife swap. Like I said, I'm a mining copycat. For loadout number 2, we're getting into the SMGs, and the first thing I'm going to be running is the QQ9. I love this gun. It's really good at close quarters, and in my opinion, it's the top 3 SMG in the game right now. The only thing I need to cover about the loadout that's a little bit unique is I'm running smokes because I'd like to be super aggressive with this gun. I'll chuck them down middle and run straight through them, and then this is my perk setup for pretty much every time I run a submachine gun. I run Dauntless. You don't want to be 10 HP from Molotovs being thrown at you before you get into the hill. Everyone loves to abuse Molotovs in the higher rank, so this is a crucial perk at this point, and it prevents literally anything in the game from slowing you down. Even if someone has a Holger with disabled on it, it's not going to affect you if you run Dauntless. And then I like quick fix because when you're aggressive, you're going to have multiple enemies pushing you, and you want to regen your health as fast as possible. And dead silence, of course, is a must for any loadout in the game. Next up, here are my attachments. Now, I made a video on this recently, so I'm not really going to go over it. Just a high mobility, good accuracy QQ9 build. Next up, for SMG number 2, we have the Razorback. I predict this gun is going to see a lot of use this season. Trust me on that. In my opinion, it's better than the CBR, and a lot of people are bored of using the CBR for the last year and a half. The only difference between this loadout and my last one is I'm running trophies because I'm not going to be as aggressive as I would be if I was using the QQ9. And of course, for the attachments, literally not really going to go over this because I just made a video on it 2 or 3 days ago, but they're super basic. Just going to give you a little bit of accuracy and range. Next up, for our third SMG, of course, we have the CBR. I don't honestly personally use this gun too often because I'm super bored of it, but I just had to include it in here. It's the same loadout as the Razorback, of course. It's pretty much almost the same gun with just some slight differences. This is my build for it. I like to give it some range so you can challenge medium range gunfights. It also has a little bit of better wall penetration than the Razorback does, which I honestly really like because a lot of the times you're going to spray at people on head glitches, and you want to be able to do some damage to their body if you miss a little bit. Don't want to talk about this too much. It's seen used for the last year and a half. Next on our list, we have the Switchblade. It's extremely good at close range, probably my favorite SMG of the season. I grinded onto the Switchblade leaderboards, and I have to say this is a very, very strong weapon. Good mobility, good damage, good range, good fire rate. Everything is really, really, really nice about it, and the gun looks very, very cool in game. Since you are going to be playing aggressive, I recommend trying to run a smoke on this. And for my attachments, they're super, super basic. I make sure it's silenced. It has really good mobility, so I take some of that away to add some accuracy, range, and control to it. Now it's time for the assault rifle section of today's video. We're halfway through and we're going to start off with the FFAR. It's extremely good. It sounds weird to compare it to an SMG, but it's a better assault rifle version of the CBR. It has better range but worse mobility. To help boost the mobility and to make you more lethal in close range, enemies aren't going to know you're coming, I like to run Skulker because a lot of the times I'm going to be gliding around the outside of the map, being sneaky, aim down sights. And these are my attachments. I did make a video on it when it first dropped. It's a very good gun. If you haven't played with it yet, give it a shot. Next up, we have the LK24. It's a gun that's extremely easy to use, but that doesn't make it any less good. All the stats are really solid, and it got a damage buff recently, which means it's going to be a top 3 assault rifle in my opinion right now. For my perks, I'm running pinpoint because a lot of the fights are going to take with this. Those enemies are going to be across the map, and that helps you hit those shots. And then we have ghost because you're going to be playing very slow with this gun. It's not going to be something that you want to rush into hills with. And for my attachments, I actually have a red dot that I'm running, but you can, if you want to, you can switch this out if you're able to see without it, and then put on either OWC laser or granulated grip tape. And then next up, we have the Krieg Witch. In my opinion, it's the best gun in the game right now, which might sound a little weird to you if you've been playing a lot of ranked, because you don't see it very often anymore. For some reason, after it got nerfed slightly, everyone just decided to throw it away and not touch it anymore, but it's still amazing. I am running Skulker. I do like to play a little bit slower with this gun, and I do like toughness for this. I'm not sure why, but it's just a personal preference. And then for my attachments in the gunsmith, we're running just a super basic Krieg build. And then we have a gun that I think you probably all expected to be on this list. We have the Kilo 141. Extremely good. It's a little bit worse than the Krieg, but it's still very good. I just made a video on this gun, and I actually like to run pinpoint because I am going to be challenging at range. And then I also prefer toughness on this gun. And for my attachments, of course, this is a bit of a less aggressive build. I know some people like to run a stock on it, but for me personally, I post up and I gun people at range. So last but not least, we have the Graw assault rifle. It just released in Call of Duty Mobile, but I'm recording this video before it's out in ranked, so I probably will have a Graw video, but I'm going to post this one after that. And I already know what gunsmith I'm going to be rocking because you can test it in the practice range currently, and here it is. So first off, we are going to be running for our muzzle tactical suppressor, then XRK CZEN for the barrel, and for the stock we have XRK strike light. These are really hard to pronounce. This one's a little bit easier. 60 round mags, and the rear grip is Cronin Sniper Elite. And then for the perks and everything, I'm just going to go with the same ones that I'm using for the Kilo build. So that's it for the top 10 pro loadouts. If you guys enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe. Of course, I'm going to have a ton of more banger videos just like this coming out when every update in COD Mobile drops. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later.